Hi, I'm John Aiello. I'm a librarian at Pearl River Public Library, and I'm coming to you today from PRPL, From Home Services. It's something we started recently, and in specific, I'm coming to you today from a program I'm starting. This is the first one, and it's going to be called The Curious Stack of Books. So, why would I have a curious stack of books? Because I'm a librarian, and so look, see, I have this shirt. My wife made this shirt. Virginia Woolf, there's a lighthouse. Get it? To the lighthouse. And so most people don't have shirts like this, but I'm a librarian, so I have a shirt like this, and I have a curious stack of books. So I don't know which came first, the librarian or the stack of books, but actually I do know. They sort of both came first because I had about 1,000 books, and then I became a librarian, and then I got 1,000 more. So both came at the same time, or kind of both. They both came first. So before we get around to it, just so you know, like, I'm the guy to be doing this. Look, it's even official. I Public Librarian Certificate, John Aiello. See? And let's see. Here's another one. This one is actually this says Master of Science, so I guess I'm kind of sort of a scientist too. So let's get started. Before we start, let me make you comfortable here, show you around a little bit. I've got a picture to show you first, also kind of a librarian thing. So this picture on the wall here is shot in Barcelona on the Feast of San Jordi. And during the Feast of San Jordi, books everywhere. Vendors sell books or roses all over the street. The entire streets are just covered with books and roses. Very cool event. Okay, so to the curious stack of books. Let's get started. Let's just take this one from the bottom. No, kidding. Let's take the one from the top. Smallest book. I put it on the top. This is a book that I got at the Brooklyn Flea, which if you've never been to, it's a really cool thing to go to. It's a great flea market in Brooklyn. And there was an antique dealer there, and he was selling these books, very tiny books, for about $25 each. So I learned a little bit about this book. This happens to be The Raven and Other Poems by Edgar Allan Poe. So this was published by two brothers, the Boni brothers, B-O-N-I, and they started their company in 1914. They decided to start this company because they had seen another successful cigarette company who would sell volumes of Shakespeare, give away volumes of Shakespeare, small ones, along with a pack of cigarettes. What's wrong with that sentence? Okay, so you are an executive at a cigarette company and you go, how do we get people to buy these cigarettes? I got it, let's give them free volumes of Shakespeare. And it worked. So what I'm describing is a very different world, apparently. Anyway, as they say, don't get me started. Let's get back to The Raven and Other Poems from the Little Library series published by the Boni brothers. So these books sold for about 10 cents each. You could get the collection of 30 of them for around $30. And during World War II, these were also marketed to soldiers as a vest pocket book. They published all works of classics and literature. Another interesting thing about these two brothers is when they sort of finished their successful ride with the Little Leather Library series, they went on to merge with a company called Boni and Liverite, which went on to publish the Modern Library series with this beautiful Art Deco logo. And as you might know, they were also the first publisher of Hemingway. This is not Hemingway's first book, but it is the first edition of For Whom the Bell Tolls. His first book which, if I'm remembering correctly, was In Our Time, a collection of short stories, was published by Bonnie and Librarian. Okay, so that is our first book on the Curious Stack of Books, The Raven and Other Poems by Edgar Allan Poe, published by the Bonnie Brothers, and the Little Leather Library edition. I'll put some pictures of this up so you can get a closer view of it. Beautiful book, sold for about 10 cents, about 100 years ago. All right, so I'll see you in our next installment of the Curious Stack of Books.